You, and this makes you even more pale and emaciated than usual, you know who presented the witnesses for the persecution against me, the witnesses who, while they are false in their spirits, are truthful with regard to the material meaning of their words, because I did infringe the Sabbath when I had to flee, as my hour had not yet come, and when I saved 2 innocents from the highwaymen. And I could say that necessity justified the actions as necessity justified David for eating the consecrated bread. It is true that I took shelter in Samaria, although when my hour came, and the Samaritans suggested that I should remain with them as their pontiff, I refused honours and safety to remain faithful to the law, even if that means handing myself to my enemies. It is true that I love sinners and prostitutes to the extent of tearing them away from sin. It is true that I preach the ruin of the temple, even if these words of mine are nothing but the Messiah's confirmation of the words of his prophets. He who makes these and other charges, and turns also miracles into indictments, and has made use of everything on the earth to try to induce me to sin, and be able to add further charges to the previous ones, is one of my friends. That also was said by the king prophet, from whom I descend through my mother. He who shared my bread raised his heel against me. I know. I would die twice if I could, not to prevent him from committing the crime. By now, his will has surrendered to death, and God does not do violence to man's freedom. But if at least the torture of the horrible deed accomplished would make him repent at God's feet. That is why you, Judas of Beth-horon, yesterday admonished Manaen to be quiet, because the snake was present, and he might have damaged the disciple besides the master. No, only the master will be struck. Be not afraid. It will not be because of me that you will have sufferings and misfortunes, but because of the crime of a whole population, you will all have what the prophet said. O my miserable fatherland, miserable land that will experience the punishment of God, miserable inhabitants and children, whom I now bless, and I would like to be saved, and who, although innocent, when adults, will suffer the torture of the greatest misfortune. Look at this land of yours, flourishing, beautiful, green and flowery like a wonderful carpet, as fertile as Eden. Impress its beauty on your hearts, and then, when I shall have gone back whence I came, run away while you can, before the desolation of ruin, like a hellish fury, spreads here, demolishing and destroying, making everything sterile, and burning more than happened at Gomorrah, more than happened at Sodom, yes, more than there, where it was nothing but a quick death. Here, Joel, do you remember Sabeah? For the last time she prophesied the future of God's people, who did not want the Son of God.